people may not know.
I got jealous.
No need. Anytime.
Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder why the latest Star Wars release is already a huge embarrassing failure? Is it any wonder why Disney will be lucky to break even and could potentially lose millions of dollars again? Of course, Disney is doing their best to polish this turd. Disney is pretending like their latest steaming pile of doodle is a massive success. Did you see these box office numbers? We generated $164 million at the box office in our opening weekend. Celebrate the butt bongo! Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes! You know, in the year of our Lord 2026, it is becoming increasingly difficult to get people inside of a movie theater. For starters, most of the films Hollywood is producing are the drizzling shits. If anyone's actually interested in consuming these Hollywood turds, which most people aren't, they can just wait a few weeks for the movie to be released on a streaming service, and instead of paying, they can simply watch it for free. It is hard enough to get people to leave the comfort of their own home, or if you're a player in the WNBA, your house on wheels. It's hard enough to get people to leave home to watch a movie in theaters. New Year's Eve, me and the wife went to see a Sydney Sweeney movie in the theater. It was the first time that Uncle KC had been inside of a movie theater in almost 20 years. Unsurprisingly, the theater mostly empty. And to their credit, theaters have done their best to make the viewing experience as comfortable as possible. Problem is, they have no control over the others who are watching the movie with you. It's a nuisance to watch a movie in movie theaters. Uncle KC has minimal tolerance for stupidity, and by minimal, I mean none. We're about 30 minutes into the movie, and a group of yentas arrive fashionably late. As they are walking into the dark theater, their yenta vision allows them to see another group of yentas that they know. And they start catching up on the latest gossip. Girl, I haven't seen you in forever. I got some tea for you. Did you hear that Remus removed his penis and is now identifying as Venus? Then you've got the punk kid behind me toking on his weed pen. He's coughing up his tiny balls on the back of my hoodie. You got the loving parents who had their first child 5 or 6 months ago. They couldn't find a babysitter, so they bring young Nova to an R-rated movie, and she ruins the brief moment when Sydney Sweeney shows her bosoms by crying about it. It's already tough to get people to the theater, and in the case of Disney, it's even more difficult when you are constantly disappointing your audience. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at American Alternative Assets. One of the most important aspects of getting older, saving for retirement. Most people invest through their 401k, which is a great strategy, but the markets can be volatile. You never know when another 2008 crash is coming that will wipe out 20-30% of your savings, if not more. It is important to protect yourself, and that's where American Alternative Assets steps in. American Alternative Assets isn't just another company that's looking to sell gold and silver. They have highly trained specialists that will help you preserve your wealth. I remember when I first started hearing about gold 15, 20 years ago, it was less than $1,000 an ounce. Today, it's just under $5,000 an ounce. When the stock market goes down, gold typically goes up. So if you have a portion of your portfolio invested in gold, you're protected from the volatility of the market. When you purchase through American Alternative Assets, they send you actual gold. They don't send you a piece of paper. They send you the physical coins. If you change your mind and you decide gold isn't the right investment strategy for you, American Alternative Assets, they have a 100% buyback guarantee. You just call them up and they will buy the gold back from you. American Alternative Assets will work with you every step of the way to protect your retirement. If precious metals isn't the right investment for you, they'll tell you it's not right for you. You literally have nothing to lose. So start protecting yourself today by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment below or calling 855-GOLD-001. 855 GOLD 001. This past holiday weekend, Disney released Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. Uncle KC, what the hell's a Mandalorian? What is a Grogu? I have no idea what the hell a Mandalorian is. Perhaps it's the new name for the Death Star. I believe the Grogu is that stuffed animal that Jon Favreau was holding in that clip at the beginning of this video. If you're a grown man and you're still cuddling with stuffed animals, you need to rethink your life's path and make an immediate detour. You know who plays with stuffed animals? My 3-year-old Yorkie Oreo. If she is still playing with stuffed animals by this time next year, me and Oreo are going to have a talk about the importance of growing up. Opening weekend at the box office, this latest Disney turd generated $84 million. With international numbers, it generated just over $160 million. It is the lowest opening weekend for a Star Wars film since Disney took over the franchise back in 2012. Uncle KC, that's not true. When they released Solo in 2018, it generated $84 million also, and that movie was the drizzling shits. Yeah, that's true, but you have to adjust those numbers for inflation. I know 2018 was only 8 years ago, but thanks to Aunt Fauci and our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden, and the trillions of dollars they flooded into the market, your money in 2018 was worth a hell of a lot more than your money is today. Adjusted for inflation, Solo generated $112 million, which means Grogu is almost $30 million short. To make matters worse, once you include marketing and promotion cost, the budget for Grogu is between $400 million. Now, Disney drastically decreased the budget because previous versions of Star Wars have been a huge embarrassing failure. Now, to their credit, this was a smart decision by Disney because even with Grogu flopping at the box office, this massive turd still has a chance to break even. Problem is, experts are predicting that it will close around $300 million. Now, if that's the case, Disney will once again lose millions of dollars. What's weird about this film, critics have refused to polish the turd, but normal people, well, as normal as someone can be as a Star Wars fan, if you're over the age of 16 and you're still dressing up as Darth Vader in the middle of May, you are officially a dork. But I have seen some normal people review the film and they have given it positive reviews. Critics hate it, but consumers, they seem to like it. Maybe word of mouth will help Disney recoup their investment. But even if Grogu generates $400 million, even if it generates $500 million, there is no denying the fact that the polish has melted off of the Star Wars turd. When I was a child, I liked the first 3 Star Wars movies. Now, obviously, once I hit puberty, I lost interest in the fully clothed Princess Leia, and I was more interested in the Girls Gone Wild commercials that were airing after midnight. But I remember when Star Wars made its first comeback in the late 90s, early 2000s. The Phantom Menace, the one with Liam Neeson, it generated 55 million on the first day, nearly 200 million opening weekend. The film ended up grossing over $1 billion. More importantly, it was part of mainstream pop culture. Star Wars back then was everywhere. There used to be dorks camping outside of theaters waiting for the movie to be released. There would be grown men dressed as stormtroopers. They were standing outside of the streets of New York City or other major cities in America having a sword fight with fake lightsabers. You didn't have to be a Star Wars fan to know that the film was being released because everyone was talking about it. Today, no one cares. And look, it's not just Star Wars that no one cares about. Hollywood in general is experiencing a massive decline. Obviously, there are a lot of reasons for Hollywood's decline, many of which we have discussed here on the channel. But besides the lack of creativity, besides their incessant embrace of the woke wiener, you know what's really hurting Hollywood? Pop culture has become segregated. Pop culture has become driven by individual interest. In the past, Hollywood has been heavily reliant on established stars to drive people to theaters. In the weeks leading up to a movie being released, the lead star would visit late night shows, The Today Show, Good Morning America, Howard Stern, or other major radio shows. Back then, those shows had massive reach, massive influence. Today, Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast in America, and if you don't listen or watch Joe Rogan, you really never hear about him. With so many options available, entertainment has become a niche industry. Now, you would think this would make it a bit easier to create mainstream stars, but the reality is it's made it damn near impossible, which is why Hollywood, an industry that is heavily reliant on star power, continues to struggle. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.